The Afew-Store is known for their creative and diverse collaborations, and they are about to celebrate their 10th anniversary. The two brothers from Düsseldorf started by selling shoes out of their father's garage, and now they run a well-established family business with more than 50 employees. This is the first episode of a small documentary to give you a deeper insight of what Afew is all about. Since I'm working with them on a bigger project for 2019, I wanted to find out how everything started. Your father was a painter, your mom had various jobs, you lived a simple, normal life. How did you get into the whole sneaker and fashion world?
I think we got into it by accident. When we were young, we were really die-hard basketball fans. And we were soaking everything up that we could get. You have to know back then there were no internet or something, so we have to get all our information from VHS magazine. We were even studying the Beckett's and starting collecting basketball cards, and we're really into this. And for sure we wanted to have the shoes from our heroes.
Do you still remember your first pair you ever got?
Not the first pair. When we started, it started with no-name shoes. And the other ones were just too expensive, and it was more about playing the game and enjoying it. But over the years, I think the hype got us, and we wanted to have the shoes from Jordan, Pippen, and all the other players.
I think the first pair that I really got was 95, 96. This was the Penny One. Was my favorite player at this time, and I could finally convince my father to spend a huge amount to buy me this super expensive shoe, and I was super happy. I really remember putting on and going into the gym and feeling having superpowers, jumping higher or running faster, but didn't really work, but they were looking dope.
Yeah.
Serious moves. Who's the man with the coolest shoes?
The new Air Penny from Nike.
So are there other people besides basketball players who influenced you?
Yeah, of course. There was in the early 90s we also got into the rap thing, and like every kid we wanted to be like Biggie or Pac, and also had our gangster moments. But in the end it was still basketball that influenced us the most. For me personally, especially the time when Iverson came into the league and the N1 mixtapes got out. And I still remember when we tried to do all the moves and also wearing the oversized shorts. It was crazy time.
So you were basketball junkies, playing ball, collecting cards, always absorbing information and emulating your favorite players. How did you turn from customers and fans to really sellers?
We didn't plan it either. At this time it was really hard to get good kicks in the sports stores, and yes, through basketball we had some good connection to the US and started importing shoes for us.
Like not just for us, also for friends that asked because they wanted to have those kicks as well. More and more people asked, and we had problems with stocking the shoes, and so we asked our dad if we can use his painter's workshop.
Yeah, I remember when we had it in the painter workshop, you could recognize everybody who was rocking shoes that were smelling like paint. You know that we hooked them up. It was like our signature.
This time we were both having normal jobs that we were really unhappy with. At some point our dad was speaking to us, and he told us, hey, you should follow your passion and go with it.
The father's advice gave us like the final push And we started selling on eBay, and on the weekend we were always going to flea markets, what was like a crazy experience for us. We learned a lot there. It was really hard, exhausting time, but it taught us a lot, and it was like our first step into this business thing.
Yeah, over the time the whole thing developed, and we were buying stocks from different sellers in Germany and UK, and the people really didn't know what they were selling to us.
I remember, like, we bought, for example, the Air Jordan 8 low vintage for $10 from a store in the UK, and it was really crazy. But then at some point, I know, like, because the import thing was like kind of twilight zone, you were allowed to import until a certain time. Then they stopped us, I think it was like 50 or 60 pairs of Nikes. They stopped at the custom and said, okay, you cannot import them from the US, you can only import for yourself. And this got us in trouble. Like, from that moment on, our main source were gone, and we have to make a decision where we were going to go on.
Yeah, I think this was like the turning point when we thought, okay, we have to do like a real store, or let it go and do our normal jobs again. But yeah, we made the decision and tried to find a store. And
so you weren't allowed to import sneakers anymore, so you're kind of like forced to open a store in order to like follow your passion in selling sneakers. And what was the concept of the store back then? Was it the same like today?
No. The first concept that we had, first of all, we started with a different name. It was Afew, not Afew. Then we also had a different store. We wanted to open a store in another area here in Düsseldorf. A really nice store with high ceilings, and we built everything there, like the furnitures with our dad, and it was really nice. But unfortunately, 2 weeks before we wanted to open it, the store was shut down by the government, because the crooked landlord like just rented us the store, although he was not allowed to because they had a dangerous construction. Yeah, so we had to leave the store and get out of there as quick as possible.
This was really bad time for us because we put a lot of work into it and we're like forced to move out. We had to take all the shoes out and put them back in the garage where we came from. We were like broke because we had everything invested in the store, and our crooked landlord took even the deposit that we gave him and take it to the Caribbean islands, had a good time there. And we were like totally broke, only had 100 of pairs but no store, and we were forced to find a solution. I think this was a moment where we were close to break up. But then luckily find the store that we are in now. What is looking now back, what the best thing that could happen to us, because we moved to the Japanese area that we didn't know at this time. But this whole Japanese culture really shaped us a lot and become part of our ID. So it was bad at this time, but looking back, what was the best thing that could happen to us.
Especially after the landlord robbed us, was kind of heavy on us, because it was such a big credit that we wanted to pay back as soon as possible. And pretty fast we realized that it was not that easy to do it, because for example, the first day that we opened the store, we had exactly one customer. It was a good friend of us who just wanted to visit us.
It was like this like the whole month, like all the time, friends coming by, hanging out, buying some shoes, but it was way too less for like paying the bills. So we had to find out ways to promote our store and to get people to the store. Yeah. And we started marketing without having any clue out of it. We did like crazy flyers, posters, spread it all over Düsseldorf, and we did it like for years, I don't know.
Yeah, like it was always in the daytime we were in the store selling shoes, and at the night and weekends we were
promoting the store, trying to get new customers in the store. And I think it was about like 3 years into the business that we were finally able to pay all our bills and the rent on a regular basis, you know?
Yeah.
At the beginning, it was more our job to turn normal customers to sneakerheads. Besides that, for the first 3 years, we had no limited editions. We need to get the accounts at the brands, and it took us about 3 years to get like the first good accounts, to get some limited drops.
But how does it work with the accounts? Like, which store gets the limited sneakers or gets the good accounts?
I think for them it's all about visibility, and today it's depends a lot on if you're in a key city like Paris, London or Berlin. And back then it was very much dependent on what you do for the culture, and this was very natural for us because we were doing a lot of events and special projects for the shoes that came out. So these got us the accounts that we have right now.
Tell me how that developed from you two doing everything on your own and now having such a big team.
At the beginning, we were not just us two. There were one other guy, Jörg, aka our best salesman, aka Santa Claus, aka our IT. He was there from day one with us and helped us grow everything. Yeah, but at some point we needed help because we couldn't do everything on our own, and we started hiring all of our friends, what was very important for us.
It was very tough for us to pass the responsibility to the rest of the team. But right now we are very lucky to have that team. They took it to the next level and made Afew what it is today.
In the last 10 years you created some very impressive collaborations, especially the Koi or the Highly Addictive. Tell me how does it work, and what is your secret behind it?
Yeah, usually we get together with the whole team and try to work out the concepts for the collaborations together, and then first of all put a lot of effort into it, and also a lot of attention to details when it comes to materials, the colors, packaging and also marketing.
We only get very few chances to do collaborations. For example, the Essex collaboration, we needed like 3 years to convince Essex. So we had only one shot, so it needed to be dope, and I think the people appreciate it.
Can we expect something special for the 10th anniversary?
Yeah, definitely. I think for the 10th anniversary we will celebrate it a whole year. There will be several projects all over the year. We will start in November. Our first project will be with Essex again. The last one was about family, and this one will be about friendship, and it will be really special.